Oh.
Spicy doner and chips.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Your curry chai.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Enjoy. There's your bill.
Sorry, the what?
The bill.
But I'm an influencer.
What do you influence? I don't care what you are. You're paying the bill.
I take pictures of food and I make it look nice.
We don't need people to take pictures of our food. If you're not going to pay, I'm going to take it away.
But I want to eat it.
No.
I'm an influencer.
Are you going to pay for it?
I can give you a shout out.
How do you feel about quote unquote food influencers using their online content and potentially in some cases a scam to get free food and to eat all over the state or all over the country without spending a dime of their own money, while millions of Americans on SNAP benefits, EBT, and other food stamps don't even know how they're going to get groceries this month? Yeah, welcome back into the channel, everybody. Very controversial topic. A few people mentioned it on the comment section, and I've seen these videos everywhere. And we're talking about online influencers, and I use that word loosely, I'll tell you why in a minute, who go around taking photos and videos of restaurants and food and desserts and drinks and bars, and they use that online profile and persona and content to basically scam their way, and in some places, legitimately get fed for free or get free drinks or free service, whatever it is. We see this all the time. I think you know what I'm talking about. And I want to look at a few clips and ask all of you, do you think that restaurants and bars and other places like hotels, Airbnbs, whatever it is, should work with influencers, online content creators is what I like to call them, to give them free food, free drinks, free whatever in exchange for a shout out? Do you think that that is a good idea or a bad idea? Let me know in the comments, and I'm going to tell you my opinion on it as we go through these videos. I got a couple of interesting ones, both sides of the spectrum, both sides of the argument, so we'll check it out, and then I'll let you know what I think about halfway through this video, and of course you can tell me in the comments how you feel about online influencers and trying to get free stuff. So one of the ongoing problems is that these influencers in a lot of cases expect to get something for free. And remember, when somebody owns a restaurant or a bar or other place, they are under no obligation to work with anybody they don't want to work with or to give anyone anything for free. That is at their own discretion.
Oh.
Spicy doner and chips.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Your curry chai.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Enjoy. There's your bill.
Sorry, the what?
The bill.
But I'm an influencer.
What do you influence? I don't care what you are. You're paying the bill.
I take pictures of food and I make it look nice.
We don't need people to take pictures of our food. If you're not going to pay, I'm going to take it away.
But I want to eat it.
No.
I'm an influencer.
Are you going to pay for it?
I can give you a shout out.
No, I won't pay for it. I want money. And we take card or cash.
Do you take shout outs?
No shout-outs, mate.
All right, so here's the thing. People think just because they have some form or level or height of awareness on the internet that people know who they are potentially, or some audience level, that they should automatically be given free stuff to shout you out. And that's not the case. Like, I'm going to keep these short, but just because somebody even has 50,000 or 100,000 or 200,000 followers on some platform doesn't mean that those people are going to necessarily relate with where you are at your restaurant or your hotel or your bar. It has to be the right person, right? If there's somebody, for example, I live in Tampa, Florida, and there's a lady that makes content around here. She's probably in her 30s, and she's called Food Around the Bay. And she goes to every restaurant in Tampa Bay. She goes to like 5 restaurants a week, whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner. She's always getting meals. And she's got an audience of hundreds of thousands of local Florida people, especially in the Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater area. So if you open a new restaurant in this area and you want to reach the people that are going to come to your restaurant on a regular basis in the Tampa area, you would want to reach out to this girl and say, hey, I've opened a new Italian restaurant. I'd love for you to come in. I'd love for you to try our food. We would love to work with you. If I owned a restaurant, that's who I'd go to. I'm not just going to have some girl with 500,000 followers who's on vacation in Tampa for 3 days come through here and want to get free meals. You don't do me any good because your audience may not necessarily visit my restaurant or my establishment, or may not visit it on a regular basis. I'd rather have that targeted audience that I can rely on, because if I'm going to give somebody a free $50 or $100 meal, which isn't a lot of money, mind you, for a restaurant, I need her to convert people into customers. And so that's how you have to look at it as a business owner. We'll look at it from the other side of the spectrum, from the influencer side, in just a second.
One of the coolest parts about posting online is when restaurants find your page and invite you in to try their food. So today I'm taking you behind the scenes for a content day starting with brunch. Today we're going to the Madison in San Diego. They invited me in for a free meal in exchange for some content. And you already know I ball out for these content meals. I started with a mimosa and then we got these waffle churro sticks. They were so good. I would have eaten 10 of them. Then we ordered our entrees. Obviously the phone had to eat first. That's the whole reason we're there. Everything we tried was honestly a 10 out of 10 and we were very full afterward. Okay, we just got done with our meal. We're stuffed. What do we think? How was it?
It was delicious.
Those churro waffle sticks were my favorite.
Okay, so like I said, from the restaurant point of view, it's a very small cost. You're giving somebody a meal, which you may have charged them $30, $40, $50 for, even if you let them have a +1, $60 for a brunch or whatever it is. And that's a small cost to advertise. You could do 10 of those a month and only spend $600, and really your cost of food and goods is even less, so only a few $100s. And if they just convert some people to come in and have some meals, it's not a big reach to make a really good profit and bring in customers. Now, a lot of people have a problem with this. They think these are just stuck up, high class, entitled, whatever, is just trying to get free meals and all over town. But you have to understand it's a business, right? This is no different than a radio station, a news TV station, or a billboard. If I own a piece of property with a billboard and you want to advertise your restaurant on it, you're going to give me $2,000 a month, right? That's my price. Hey, $2,000 a month, pay me that, and I will slap your phone number, address, restaurant name, and pictures of your food up on my billboard. In exchange, people are going to see that billboard and come visit your restaurant. Well, if you have an influencer who has, I don't know, an Instagram or YouTube or Facebook, whatever it is, with 100,000 followers, she or he are going to pop your photos of your restaurant, your information, everything about you on their page, and hundreds of thousands of people are going to see that and potentially come in and be your customer. Again, there's no guarantees in the world of advertising. And in exchange for them showing your business off to all of their followers that they have built, you have to pay them, whether it's a free meal, whether it's $500 a month, whether it's $1,000 for one ad, whatever it is. They deserve to be paid for that if that's their business and they have built this audience and they can, again, advertise and market for you. Now, I understand the entitlement problem. There's a lot of influencers that have like 27 followers and want to get free beers all over town. That's not going to work. You've got to curate it with an influencer that is in your niche, your genre, and that will help you convert into customers, and not just every Tom, Dick, and Harry and Betty that want to come in and get a free meal just because they're being entitled. So there's a balancing act. And we're going to see some examples of that entitlement in the next couple of clips, because some people really try to take it too far when you could just do good business. Now, I'll tell you personally, if I was a food influencer, I'm not. I would go into a restaurant unannounced. I would not tell them. I would go in and experience it. And if I actually liked the food and I liked the service and the atmosphere in the restaurant, I would approach the manager or owner after the experience and say, hey, I just wanted to let you know, I didn't reach out to you guys. I just came in. We had a normal night. It was amazing. We love your food. We love the restaurant. We would love to work with you going forward. Here's how I normally work it. You can do paid spots. We can do, a sponsored event. We can do stories, whatever it is. You can work it out with them later. But I would go in and have a real organic experience. Find the one that I work with that I actually appreciate. I do it with products all the time. If I'm going to shout out a product, I have to like it. I'll show you guys a little behind the scenes where I have these lights that I work with, and I shout these out for people that I really love the way they light up my videos when I am filming. And so I shout them out because I generally like them, and the company pays me every time I sell a set of lights, and it works out for us. But let's see some of the entitlement that comes along with it.
So there was another bartender walks up to these two guys that sat down at one of his high tops, and he walks over, and one of the guys immediately looks up, kind of like fixes his hair, but he's like, yeah, hey guys, I'm Matt. And the bartender was like, hey Matt, I'm Jim. And he's like, no, like, I'm Matt. And the bartender was like, I don't know what that means. And he's like, gosh, what is up with this town? I've been to 3 bars, and none of these bartenders know who I am. Do you know how many followers I have? I'm an influencer. And Jim just goes, okay, what can I get you, influencer? And Matt's like, You don't understand. If I were to go in a real big city where people actually looked at social media, they would be throwing free food at me and free drinks left and right. So, like, maybe if you know what's good for your business, if you want this place to be advertised, you'll like show a little bit of respect for me and who I am.
I hope he took that drink and threw it at him, you know?
I would just
Right in
say
his face.
bye, see you later. Well, Jim was like, well, sorry, but your followers don't pay my bills, so you can either order something or you can leave.
Yeah, and again, 100,000 followers in today's day and age, 10 years ago might have been something, but in today's day and age, it doesn't, they're dime a dozens. There's a million influencers, a ton of people doing it. You don't need Jim or Matt or whoever to advertise for. You can go get Billy and Bobby and Cindy and Trisha and everybody else to advertise because there's a ton of them. And if you're coming into me, reaching out to me to do it, chances are you're probably just looking for something for free. I would, as a business owner, reach out to them and say, hey, I'd love for you to come in and try out our restaurant. It looks like your audience fits what we want. Looks like you're local. Looks like this and that. And we would love for you to come in and possibly work with us. We'll have a normal night and then we'll go from there. There's a lot of options, but these people coming in entitled just going, well, I'm so-and-so. Okay, great. Congratulations. We have no idea who you are. Okay, we're going to see a story from a bakery pastry place that had an influencer come in and not the way that you want to go about it.
So we recently had an influencer reach out to us and ask to do a collaboration, and we respectfully declined because it was not in our budget right now. Then she essentially tried to blackmail us by saying if we offered the food for free, she would then write a good review about us. I told her we'd think about it, but she still came in the next day. And although we hadn't agreed to collab with her, we recognized her when she came in, and we still were very accommodating and offered her extra drinks. So we totally respect a bad review. But what we don't like is lying and bullying. The first thing she said was that our pistachio was so faked. Fun fact, we have right here our pistachio paste that is 100% pistachios from Italy. All of our flours that we use in our product, the farine de blé, épeautre, gruyère rouge, all comes on a pallet from Europe. And also, this is our panettone flour, straight from Italy. It's written entirely in Italian. Not bad for close to the airport bakery. Beyond the fact that we spend 10 times the amount of money to buy the ingredients, the most valuable part of our product is the time we spend to make them. From our sourdough starter to our dough, every single thing is handmade from scratch.
To make this, we spent 6 months. Yeah, to learn it, how to feed it, know how to work with it.
And it only likes the flour from Italy. And this isn't just about me. This specific influencer has gone to many different local restaurants and bullied them. The problem is if the next generation is influenced by her to believe it's okay to bully and disrespect the food industry. We like working with influencers, but acting like the working class is beneath you and promoting this kind of message on social media and bribing us for free stuff is not really something we support. My biggest pride in what I've built here isn't just how I source my ingredients, but it's having found the people to be in my team that wake up every day and that care about what we do, our processes, and that work really, really hard to do this. And most of all, thank you to our customers, sincerely, because it's thanks to you that since day one, I get to live my dream of having a bakery. And thanks to your support, I've been able to continue to be as true to my art.
That's just horrible. And that's the part of the business that I will never understand how people can be so cruel that just because somebody doesn't want to give you something for free or bend to your entitlement, you're then going to resort to blackmail or lying or fake bad reviews. And unfortunately, that wields some power. If somebody comes into your restaurant and says, hey, look, I've got 150, 200,000 followers, I want to get some free dinner and drinks, and you're like, well, we don't do that. We're happy to, give you a great experience. Maybe I can give you a free appetizer, a free donut, a free whatever, but I'm not just going to, comp your whole meal and all this stuff. That's just not how we work. They're going to go, well, I'm going to go tell my 200,000 followers to leave you a bad review. And it's not about the bad review they leave. It's about their people who just believe everything that they say, no matter what actually happened. And suddenly on Yelp, on Google review, on Facebook review, on whatever it is, you got a whole bunch of one-star reviews with nothing you can do about it. And now they've cost you how much business. And unfortunately, some of these people have learned the hard way. It's cheaper to keep her, right? It's cheaper to just say, fine, you know what? We're going to comp your meal because at the very least, I know you're not going to bombard my business with 1 stars. I'll just give you the free meal. And so if I was a business owner, I would have to weigh those options about if I don't give this person something, I may wake up to 1,000 one-star reviews and my business crashed, which could potentially cost me tons and tons and tons of money, as opposed to just giving this somebody 20 or 30 bucks worth of free stuff and moving on. It's a lesser of two evils and it sucks. You don't ever want to bend to somebody like that, but at the same time, you really don't have any recourse if you don't. Now this next guy, he had the perfect answer. He just tells everybody, hey, we don't do this with influencers, but if somebody legitimately wants to come in and eat and try us out and give us some legit reviews, that's how we operate. That's my policy. End of story. Check him out.
I've had a lot of messages and inquiries recently from influencers who are looking to come in and review the food, and to me, a paid review, it isn't a proper review. So if anyone does want to come in and review the food, feel free, come on, try the food, give me an honest opinion, but for me to pay you to give me a good review is insane. Like, share, and tag this post, and I will send you some food, and you can get...
He's right. Like, if I'm paying you and I know I'm getting an honest or getting a good review simply because I gave you free food or I paid you money, no good. I want people to come in that want to have an honest experience, not even tell me you're an influencer if I'm a business owner, and go about it that way. That just is the most organic, honest thing you can do. Now, when I was making this video and researching it about influencers and micro-influencers and content creators, I never thought about the whole giving celebrities a ton of free stuff, but it kind of is in the same realm of things, just really, really accelerated. So you're talking about giving an influencer with a couple 100,000 followers like myself a free dinner, and I'm going to post it for you, and you're going to get some traffic, and you're going to get some meals. But then you're going to talk about giving somebody like Guy Fieri, that remember the diners, drives, and digs where he would go on to small little country off the beaten path restaurants and cafes and influence them. Well, he actually did an episode right down the street from me at a place called Danny's American Diner, All American Diner. Great place. This was 10 years ago, before even the height of the internet. He posted it on his social media, which at the time was big for what it was, and did the TV show. And Danny's Drives, All American Diner and Drives was really good. It would get busy for lunch. After that show and those Facebook posts went up, Danny could not keep up. He literally had to shut the restaurant down every day because they would run out of food every single day because so many people came from being on that TV show. So when you're talking about giving celebrities the power to influence, they can change your life. They can change your business. And this girl doesn't agree with it, but I see the power in it, and it's hard to deny what a celebrity can do for a small business. Even if you send Kim Kardashian your brand new t-shirt you just created, if she wears it out on TV or on the screen or out to an event, you're going to get 1 million phone calls. So just sort of something to think about. Let's see what this girl says about celebrities and giving them free stuff.
I find it extremely disgusting when I see like restaurants give celebrities or influencers free food. Like, why are you giving them free food? Let me know if they're broke and they can't pay for it. Why are you guys giving celebrities or influencers free food when you guys literally would never do that for a homeless person?
The answer is business, because the homeless person can't post you out to millions of people and tell millions of people potentially how good your food is or how good your product is. However, a Kim Kardashian or a Guy Fieri or whoever it is can, and that could mean huge, huge business for you. And so it literally comes down to a business decision.
A homeless person will literally beg on their knees, crying and literally shaking because they just want something to eat because they haven't eaten food in like, what, 2 weeks? But instead, you guys call the cops when they're rummaging through your trash can because that's what you guys would rather do. Throw the leftover food that you have at the end of the day in the dumpster. And then when you see a homeless person rummaging through your trash, you'd rather just call the cops and get them arrested, you know? It's just kind of crazy because you guys will do the absolute most for when these celebrities walk through the door. If it's Leonardo DiCaprio, Zendaya, Beyonce, whoever celebrity that you're envisioning walking in through like a restaurant, they will get, most of the times they're getting like free food. Not all the time, but most of the time, a lot of these celebrities or influencers now, they're getting invited to these restaurants. Owners are saying, hey, come eat at my restaurant. I'll give you a free meal if you give me like a post. Like, what? Like, what? I just think it's kind of insane. I just think it's crazy because like the same restaurants that are begging these celebrities and influencers to eat at their restaurant are the same restaurants that are turning away homeless people from when they ask for like a bite of someone's leftover sandwich.
Again, it's business. The homeless person doesn't look good for the business when they're standing out front. Kim Kardashian walking through the door and posting on Instagram that she had dinner at Casey's Diner looks amazing for business. It's purely a business money transaction. That's it. It's all it boils down to. And some people call it greed. I suppose you could call it that. But as a business owner, your job is to be greedy. Your job is to make money. Your job is to do what's best for the business. And what's best for the business is not having homeless people standing out front, but rather having celebrities walk through your door and tell their millions of fans how good your food is. That's just the way it works. That's the way our world works. And some of you may think that's backwards, and you may or may not be right in some situations, but I'm just giving the factual information here. As always, you're welcome to tell me in the comment section whether you agree with that or not.
Like, to me, I just think it's just crazy. And it just shows, like, what our society is today. And, like, places like Dunkin' Donuts, they're another one. They love throwing away all their donuts, over 300 donuts in the trash without even thinking, like, hey, maybe I should just donate it. But no, they'd rather throw it in the trash because it just shows what society is today. And it's just so sad because they think like, oh, the more celebrities, the more influencers, the more people that talk about my restaurant, the more credibility I get and the more I am getting, like, you know, whatever, like stardom, whatever you want to call it for the restaurant folk. Like, it's just crazy because, like, they're like missing the big picture, because I promise you, most of these people in this world would rather eat at a restaurant that donates their food to a food bank or donates it to the homeless, rather than eating at a restaurant that just have snuck up, snobby, rich people. You know, I don't know. Maybe just that's just me, but I just think it's kind of crazy. So y'all need to stop giving these celebrities and influencers free food, because you guys look stupid.
No, unfortunately, this video is not really that smart, and I gotta disagree with her. They look very smart, not stupid, because getting celebrities and influencers to post out for you and getting business to come in the door is how a ton of these restaurants, especially in like West Hollywood, East Hollywood, Beverly Hills, it's how they get popular, because they're known to attract celebrities, and then everybody looks it up, everybody gets it on TMZ, everybody goes, and they do big money, and these restaurant owners become very, very wealthy and very rich based off of selling really expensive food in really expensive areas. LA, Beverly Hills, New York, Miami, all these celebrity, you know, Las Vegas is huge, you know, Gordon Ramsay, and it's all about the celebrities coming in. It's not about donating their food or where their food goes. Although I love that, and I wish more people in restaurants would do that, it's just simply not going to happen. All right, some pretty controversial topics, some good opinions, both sides of the aisle here. I want to wait and see what you guys have to say in the comments. I'll respond to as many as I can. And I'm just going to close the video showing you actually a little behind the scenes of a food influencer, the Queen Foodie, super good influencer page. She's actually very honest and gives her real reviews and doesn't beg for food. She actually gets people that call her and reach out to her to do these reviews, to come in and visit their restaurants. So I don't mind that as much if she's not the one reaching out. I'm sure she does, but most of them reach out to her. Here's a little behind the scenes of how the influencing actually works. And it's kind of funny to see because, you know, people give us shit about being content creators. I don't call myself an influencer. I don't influence anybody. I do education, news, finance, selling, how-to, entertainment. I'm not doing food or music or any movies or whatever, but this is how it works behind the scenes.
This is how it works when restaurants invite me to eat for free. I bring all my lights. These are extremely important because lighting is everything in photos. People are not as hot as you think on social media. They just have good lighting. But my food is as hot as you think. It was absolutely amazing. Here we got to order whatever we want. Sometimes the restaurant chooses for you, but you know I studied the menu like so much. So this was perfect and it was so yummy. I always leave a really big tip and I'm so thankful. And then we came back, watched Vanderpump Rules, and just...
Yeah, that's another thing. I've seen influencers who get free meals, the restaurants are happy to help them, and then they don't tip because they're like, oh, I have a $0 bill, and they just stroll out. No, what are you doing? You got a server serve you. A restaurant nice enough to invite you in, to make room for you, to serve you, to give you free food. Man, if that meal was whatever it amounted to, $100, and normally you'd leave a $20, 20% tip, you better leave 40%, right? Leave that tip. Tell them that you appreciate what they did. You appreciate that server's hard work, even though your meal was comped for you. That is just the mind-blowing that people would even think to roll out of there without leaving a tip. So that's kind of the behind the scenes of food influencing and people getting free food while half the country is starving, trying to figure out how to buy groceries, how to buy Thanksgiving, how to buy dinner for their family tomorrow night. So it's such a big disparity in the rich and the poor and the twos and do-nots, and it's just crazy the wealth gap in this country and how things have gotten to where they are. But listen, start filming, start making content, start doing what you got to do to start making money and paying yourself. Maybe you can become a food influencer or content creator, or whatever it is, entertainment, comedy, and make yourself some money so you never have to worry about being in any of these situations or how you're going to pay for your next meal out or your next grocery trip. That's what's important, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Please hit that like button. As always, subscribe to the channel. Come back and watch future videos. I have a ton of new subscribers, so thank you guys for that. I'm about to hit 150,000. I will try to do a giveaway at 150,000 subscribers, so if you are subscribed, you will be entered automatically. I'll do a randomly generated draw from my list of subs, and we'll give away something. I don't know, Amazon gift card, eBay gift card, Starbucks, something. We'll do maybe a couple of giveaways. I don't know. But as always, thank you for being here, and I will see you next time.